Everyone, this week we're looking at Jesus feeding the 5,000 and then the conversation that comes afterward. Jesus went up in a mountain and sat there with his disciples. It was nearly time for Passover, the Jewish festival. Jesus looked up and saw the large crowd coming toward him. He asked Philip, where will we buy food to feed these people? Jesus said this to test him because he already knew what he was going to do. Philip replied, more than half a year's salary worth of food wouldn't be enough for each person to even have a little bit. One of the disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, said, a kid here has 5 barley loaves and 2 fish, but what good is that for a crowd like this? Jesus said, have the people sit down. There's plenty of grass there, and they sat down, about 5,000 of them. Then Jesus took the bread, and when he had given thanks, he distributed it to those who were sitting there. He did the same with the fish, each getting as much as they wanted. So I think Jesus is being a little mischievous here. He's not testing Philip to prove that he's faithless. It's, I think, to reveal an attitude that we all sometimes have. Because honestly, Philip isn't wrong. He's not doubting Jesus. He's not directly saying, there's nothing you can do about this, Jesus. Maybe that's his implication, but he's just kind of laying out the facts. Feeding thousands of people is expensive. I mean, that's still true even if you're not a homeless, poor rabbi and his few followers. So trust in Christ is not just blind faith that completely ignores reality, that pretends there aren't real needs and real costs to addressing them. But I think faith does call us to question whether the way things are is the way that it has to be. The world's problems can seem practically innumerable. Food scarcity is just one of them. And if there were only 5,000 that we could pin down, that would probably be nice. And so there are 2 options in the face of that. Like Philip, just face the facts and feel hopeless. Or like Andrew, offer the tiny bit you have, even if it also feels kind of hopeless. Because Andrew doesn't say, hey, Jesus, here are 5 loaves and 2 fish, so you should do a miracle with them. He says, what good is that? But what matters is that he brings something. So I can't promise whatever small offering you can bring to address the problems of the world is going to fix everything. But I have to believe that every small thing that we do in faith and in love matters. That Christ is working through all of them, no matter how small they are. It doesn't have to solve everything to make a difference. So, what have you got to offer today?